Adi-lila, Chapter 10. Let me repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto the bee-like devotees who always taste the honey of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If even a doggish non-devotee somehow takes shelter of such devotees, he enjoys the aroma of the lotus flower. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Prabhu, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas. The description of Lord Chaitanya as the gardener and the tree is inconceivable. Now hear with attention about the branches of this tree. The associates of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu were many, but none of them should be considered lower or higher. This cannot be ascertained. All the great personalities in the line of Lord Chaitanya enumerated these devotees, but they could not distinguish between the greater and the lesser. I offer my obeisances unto them as a token of respect. I request them not to consider my offenses. I offer my obeisances to all the dear devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the eternal tree of love of Godhead. I offer my respects to all the branches of the tree, the devotees of the Lord, who distribute the fruit of love of Krishna. The two brothers, Srivas Pandit and Sri Ram Pandit, started two branches that are well known in the world. Their two brothers were named Sripati and Srinidhi. These four brothers and their servants and maidservants are considered one big branch. There is no counting the sub-branches of these two branches. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu held congregational chanting daily at the house of Srivas Pandit. These four brothers and their family members fully engaged in the service of Lord Chaitanya. They knew no other god or goddess. Another big branch was Acharya Ratna, and his associates were sub-branches. Acharya Ratna was also named Sri Chandrasekhar Acharya. In a drama in his house, Lord Chaitanya played the goddess of fortune. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, the third big branch, was so dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that in his absence, Lord Chaitanya himself would sometimes cry. Gadadhar Pandit, the fourth branch, is described as an incarnation of the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. No one, therefore, can equal him. His disciples and grand-disciples are his sub-branches. To describe them all would be difficult. Vakreshwar Pandit, the fifth branch of the tree, was a very dear servant of Lord Chaitanya's. He could dance with constant ecstasy for 72 hours. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu personally sang while Vakreshwar Pandit danced, and thus Vakreshwar Pandit fell at the lotus feet of the Lord and spoke as follows: O Chandramukha, please give me 10,000 Gandharvas. Let them sing as I dance, and then I will be greatly happy. Lord Chaitanya replied, I have only one wing like you, but if I had another, certainly I would fly in the sky. Pandit Jagadananda, the sixth branch of the Chaitanya tree, was celebrated as the life and soul of the Lord. He is known to have been an incarnation of Satyabhama, one of the chief queens of Lord Krishna. Jagadananda Pandit, as an incarnation of Satyabhama, always wanted to see to the comfort of Lord Chaitanya. But since the Lord was a sannyasi, he did not accept the luxuries that Jagadananda Pandit offered. They sometimes appeared to fight over trifles, but these quarrels were based on their affection, of which I shall speak later. Raghava Pandit, Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's original follower, is understood to have been the seventh branch. From him proceeded another sub-branch headed by Makaradwaj Kara. Raghava Pandit's sister Damayanti was the dear maidservant of the Lord. She always collected various ingredients with which to cook for Lord Chaitanya. The foods Damayanti cooked for Lord Chaitanya when he was at Puri were carried in bags by her brother Raghava without the knowledge of others. The Lord accepted these foods throughout the entire year. Those bags are still celebrated as Raghavera Jali, the bags of Raghava Pandit. I shall describe the contents of the bags of Raghava Pandit later in this book. Hearing this narration, devotees generally cry, and tears glide down from their eyes. Pandit Gangadas was the 8th deer branch of the tree of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. One who remembers his activities attains freedom from all bondage. Sri Acharya Purandara, the 9th branch, was a constant associate of Lord Chaitanya's. The Lord accepted him as his father. Damodar Pandit, the 10th branch of the Chaitanya tree, was so elevated in love of Lord Chaitanya that he once unhesitatingly chastised the Lord with strong words. Later in the Chaitanya caritāmṛta, I shall describe this incident of chastisement in detail. The Lord, being very much satisfied by this chastisement, sent Damodar Pandit to Navadvip. The 11th branch, the younger brother of Damodar Pandit, was known as Shankara Pandit. He was celebrated as the shoes of the Lord. Sadashiva Pandit, the 12th branch, was always eager to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. It was his good fortune that when Lord Nityananda came to Navadvip, he resided at his house. The 13th branch was Pradyumna Brahmachari. Since he was a worshipper of Lord Nrsimhadev, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu changed his name to Nrsimhananda Brahmachari. Narayan Pandit, the 14th branch, a great and liberal devotee, did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. The 15th branch was Sriman Pandit, who was a constant servitor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to carry a torch while the Lord danced. The 16th branch, Suklambar Brahmachari, was very fortunate because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly or seriously begged food from him or sometimes snatched it from him forcibly and ate it. Nandanacharya, the 17th branch of the Chaitanya tree, is celebrated within the world because the two Prabhus, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, sometimes hid in his house. Mukunda Datta, a class friend of Lord Chaitanya's, was another branch of the Chaitanya tree. Lord Chaitanya danced while he sang. Vasudev Datta, the 19th branch of the Śrī Caitanya tree, was a great personality and a most confidential devotee of the Lord. One could not describe his qualities, even with thousands of mouths. Srila Vasudev Datta Thakur wanted to suffer for the sinful activities of all the people of the world so that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu might deliver them. The 20th branch of the Chaitanya tree was Haridas Thakur. His character was wonderful. He used to chant the holy name of Krishna 300,000 times a day without fail. There was no end to the transcendental qualities of Haridas Thakur. Here I mention but a fraction of his qualities. He was so exalted that Advaita Goswami, when performing the Shraddha ceremony of his father, offered him the first plate. The waves of his good qualities were like those of Prahlad Maharaj. He did not even slightly raise an eyebrow when persecuted by the Muslim ruler. After the passing away of Haridas Thakur, the Lord himself took his body on his lap and danced with it in great ecstasy. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has vividly described the pastimes of Haridas Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. Whatever has remained undescribed, I shall try to explain later in this book. One sub-branch of Haridas Thakur consisted of the residents of Kulina Gram. The most important among them was Satyaraj Khan, or Satyaraj Vasu, who was a recipient of all the mercy of Haridas Thakur. Murari Gupta, the 21st branch of the tree of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, was a storehouse of love of Godhead. His great humility and meekness melted the heart of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Murari Gupta never accepted charity from friends, nor did he accept money from anyone. He practiced as a physician and maintained his family with his earnings. As Murari Gupta treated his patients, by his mercy both their bodily and spiritual diseases subsided. Shriman Sain, the 22nd branch of the Chaitanya tree, was a very faithful servant of Lord Chaitanya. He knew nothing else but the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Gadadhar Das, the 23rd branch, was understood to be the topmost, for he induced all the Muslim qazis to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. Shivananda Sain, the 24th branch of the tree, was an extremely confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone who went to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya took shelter and guidance from Sri Shivananda Sain. Every year he took a party of devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya. He maintained the entire party as they journeyed on the road. Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu bestows his causeless mercy upon his devotees in three features: his own direct appearance, sakshat, his prowess within someone he empowers, avesha, and his manifestation, avirbhava. The appearance of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu in every devotee's presence is called sakshat. His appearance in Nakula Brahmachari as a symptom of special prowess is an example of avesha. The former Pradyumna Brahmachari was given the name Nisringananda Brahmachari by Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. In his body there were symptoms of avirbhava. Such appearances are uncommon, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed many such pastimes through his different features. Srila Shivananda Sain experienced the three features of sakshat, avesha, and avirbhava. Later I shall vividly describe this transcendently blissful subject. The sons, servants, and family members of Shivananda Sain constituted a sub-branch. They were all sincere servants of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The three sons of Shivananda Sain, named Chaitanya Das, Ramdas, and Karnapur, were all heroic devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Sri Vallabha Sain and Sri Kanta Sain were also sub-branches of Shivananda Sain, for they were not only his nephews, but also unalloyed devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Govindananda and Govindadat, the 25th and 26th branches of the tree, were performers of kirtan in the company of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Govindadat was the principal singer in Lord Chaitanya's kirtan party. Sri Vijayadas, the 27th branch, another of the Lord's chief singers, gave the Lord many books written by hand. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu gave Vijayadas the name Ratnabahu, jewel-handed, because he copied many manuscripts for him. The 28th branch was Krishnadas, who was very dear to the Lord. He was known as Akinchana Krishnadas. The 29th branch was Sridhar, a trader in banana tree bark. He was a very dear servant of the Lord. On many occasions, the Lord played jokes on him. Every day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly snatched fruits, flowers, and pulp from Sridhar and drank from his broken iron pot. The 30th branch was Bhagavan Pandit. He was an extremely dear servant of the Lord, but even previously he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, who always kept the Lord within his heart. The 31st branch was Jagadish Pandit, and the 32nd was Hiranya Mahashai, unto whom Lord Chaitanya in his childhood showed his causeless mercy. In their two houses, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begged food on the Ekadasi day and personally ate it. The 33rd and 34th branches were the two students of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, named Purushottama and Sanjaya, who were stalwart students in grammar. They were very great personalities. Vadamali Pandit, the 35th branch of the tree, was very much celebrated in this world. He saw a golden club and plow in the hands of the Lord. The 36th branch, Buddhimanta Khan, was extremely dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was always prepared to carry out the Lord's orders, and therefore he was considered to be a chief servant of the Lord. Garuda Pandit, the 37th branch of the tree, always engaged in chanting the auspicious name of the Lord. Because of the strength of this chanting, even the effects of poison could not touch him. Gopinath Singha, the 38th branch of the tree, was a faithful servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord jokingly addressed him as Akrura. Devananda Pandit was a professional reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam, but by the mercy of Vikreshwar Pandit and the grace of the Lord, he understood the devotional interpretation of the Bhagavatam. Śrī Kandavasi Mukunda and his son Raghunandana were the 39th branch of the tree. Narahari was the 40th, Chiranjiva the 41st, and Sulochan the 42nd. They were all big branches of the all-merciful tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They distributed the fruits and flowers of love of Godhead anywhere and everywhere. Satyaraj, Ramananda, Yadunath, Purushottama, Shankara, and Vidyananda all belonged to the 20th branch. They were inhabitants of the village known as Kulina Gram. All the inhabitants of Kulina Gram village, headed by Vaninath Vasu, were servants of Lord Chaitanya, who was their only life and wealth. The Lord said, "What to speak of others, even a dog in the village of Kulina Gram is my dear friend." No one can describe the fortunate position of Kulina Gram. It is so sublime that even sweepers who tend their hogs there also chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. On the western side were the 43rd, 44th, and 45th branches, Sri Sanatan, Sri Rupa, and Anupam. They were the best of all. Among these branches, Rupa and Sanatan were principal. Anupam, Jiva Goswami, and others, headed by Rajendra, were their sub-branches. By the will of the Supreme Gardener, the branches of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami grew many times over, expanding throughout the Western countries and covering the entire region. Extending to the borders of the river Sindhu and the Himalayan mountain valleys, these two branches expanded throughout India, including all the places of pilgrimage such as Vrindavan, Mathura, and Haridwar. The fruits of love of Godhead which fructified on these two branches were distributed in abundance. Tasting these fruits, everyone became mad after them. The people in general on the western side of India were neither intelligent nor well-behaved, but by the influence of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they were trained in devotional service and good behavior. In accordance with the directions of the revealed scriptures, both Goswamis excavated the lost places of pilgrimage and inaugurated the worship of deities in Vrindavan. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, the 46th branch of the tree, was one of the most dear servants of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He left all his material possessions to surrender completely unto the Lord and live at his lotus feet. When Raghunath Das Goswami approached Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, the Lord entrusted him to the care of Swarup Damodar, his secretary. Thus they both engaged in the confidential service of the Lord. He rendered confidential service to the Lord for 16 years at Jagannath Puri, and after the disappearance of both the Lord and Swarup Damodar, he left Jagannath Puri and went to Vrindavan. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami intended to go to Vrindavan to see the lotus feet of Rupa and Sanatan, and then give up his life by jumping from Govardhan Hill. Thus, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami came to Vrindavan, visited Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, and offered them his obeisances. These two brothers, however, did not allow him to die. They accepted him as their third brother and kept him in their company. Because Raghunath Das Goswami was an assistant to Swarup Damodar, he knew much about the external and internal features of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Thus, these two brothers, Rupa and Sanatan, always used to hear of this from him. Raghunath Das Goswami gradually gave up all food and drink but a few drops of buttermilk. As a daily duty, he regularly offered 1,000 obeisances to the Lord, chanted at least 100,000 holy names, and offered obeisances to 2,000 Vaishnavas. Day and night he rendered service within his mind to Radha Krishna, and for 3 hours a day he discoursed about the character of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami took 3 baths daily in the Radhakund lake. As soon as he found a Vaishnava residing in Vrindavan, he would embrace him and give him all respect. He engaged himself in devotional service for more than 22.5 hours a day, and for less than 2 hours he slept, although on some days that also was not possible. I am struck with wonder when I hear about the devotional service he executed. I accept Srila Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami as my guides. I shall later explain very elaborately how all these devotees met Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, the 47th branch, was one of the great and exalted branches of the tree. He always engaged in discourses about love of Godhead in the company of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. The Acharya Sankararanya was considered the 48th branch of the original tree. From him proceeded the sub-branches known as Mukunda, Kashinath, and Rudra. Srinath Pandit, the 49th branch, was the beloved recipient of all the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone in the 3 worlds was astonished to see how he worshipped Lord Krishna. Jagannatha-charya, the 50th branch of the Chaitanya tree, was an extremely dear servant of the Lord, by whose order he decided to live on the bank of the Ganges. The 51st branch of the Chaitanya tree was Krishnadas Vaidya. The 52nd was Pandit Shekhara. The 53rd was Kavi Chandra. And the 54th was Sastivar, who was a great Sankirtan performer. The 55th branch was Srinath Mishra. The 56th was Subhananda. The 57th was Sri Ram. The 58th was Ishan. The 59th was Sri Nidhi. The 60th was Sri Gopikanta, and the 61st was Mishra Bhagavan. The 62nd branch of the tree was Subhuti Mishra. The 63rd was Hridayananda. The 64th was Kamala Nayana. The 65th was Mahesh Pandit. The 66th was Shrikar. And the 67th was Sri Madhusudan. The 68th branch of the original tree was Purushottama. The 69th was Sri Galim. The 70th was Jagannath Das. The 71st was Sri Chandrasekhar Vaidya, and the 72nd was Dvija Haridas. The 73rd branch of the original tree was Ramdas. The 74th was Kavichandra. The 75th was Sri Gopal Das. The 76th was Bhagavat Acharya. And the 77th was Thakur Saranga Das. The 78th branch of the original tree was Jagannath Tirtha. The 79th was the Brahmin Sri Janakinath. The 80th was Gopal Acharya. And the 81st was the Brahmin Vaninath. The 3 brothers, Govinda, Madhava, and Vasudeva, were the 82nd, 83rd, and 84th branches of the tree. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda used to dance in their kirtan performances. Ramdas Abhiram was fully absorbed in the mellow of friendship. He made a flute of a bamboo stick with 16 knots. By the order of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, 3 devotees accompanied Lord Nityananda Prabhu when he returned to Bengal to preach. These 3 were Ramdas, Madhava Ghosh, and Vasudev Ghosh. Govinda Ghosh, however, remained with Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri and thus felt great satisfaction. Bhagavat Acharya, Chiranjiva, Sri Raghunandana, Madhavacharya, Kamalakanta, and Sri Yadunandana were all among the branches of the Chaitanya tree. Jagai and Madai, the 89th and 90th branches of the tree, were the greatest recipients of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. These 2 brothers were the witnesses who proved that Lord Chaitanya was rightly named Patita Pavana, the deliverer of fallen souls. I have given a brief description of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya in Bengal. Actually, his devotees are innumerable. I have especially mentioned all these devotees because they accompanied Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bengal and Orissa and served him in many ways. Let me briefly describe some of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Among the devotees who accompanied the Lord in Jagannath Puri, 2 of them, Paramananda Puri and Swarup Damodar, were the heart and soul of the Lord. Among the other devotees were Gadadhar, Jagadananda, Shankara, Vakreshwar, Damodar Pandit, Thakur Haridas, Raghunath Vaidya, and Raghunath Das. All these devotees were associates of the Lord from the very beginning, and when the Lord took up residence in Jagannath Puri, they remained there to serve him faithfully. All the devotees who resided in Bengal used to visit Jagannath Puri every year to see the Lord. Now let me enumerate the devotees of Bengal who first came to see the Lord at Jagannath Puri. There was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, one of the biggest branches of the tree of the Lord, and his sister's husband, Sri Gopinathacharya. In the list of devotees at Jagannath Puri, which begins with Paramananda Puri, Swarup Damodar, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Gopinathacharya, Kashi Mishra was the 5th, Pradumna Mishra the 6th, and Bhavananda Roy the 7th. Lord Chaitanya took great pleasure in meeting with them. Embracing Roy Bhavananda, the Lord declared to him, "You formerly appeared as Pandu, and your 5 sons appeared as the 5 Pandavas." The 5 sons of Bhavananda Roy were Ramananda Roy, Patanayaka Gopinath, Kalanidhi, Sudanidhi, and Nayaka Vaninath. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu told Bhavananda Roy, "Your 5 sons are all my dear devotees. Ramananda Roy and I are one, although our bodies are different." King Prataparudra of Orissa, the Oriya devotees Krishnananda and Shivananda, and Paramananda Mahapatra, Bhagavan Acharya, Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Sikhi Mahiti, and Murari Mahiti, constantly associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while he resided in Jagannath Puri. Madhavi Devi, the 17th of the prominent devotees, was the younger sister of Sikhi Mahiti. She is considered to have formerly been a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. Brahmachari Kashishvar was a disciple of Ishwara Puri, and Sri Govinda was another of his dear disciples. In the list of prominent devotees at Nilachala, Jagannath Puri, Kashishwar was the 18th and Govinda the 19th. They both came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, being thus ordered by Ishwara Puri at the time of his passing away. Both Kashishwar and Govinda were godbrothers of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus the Lord duly honored them as soon as they arrived. But because Ishwara Puri had ordered them to give Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personal service, the Lord accepted their service. Govinda cared for the body of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, whereas Kashishwar went in front of the Lord when he went to see Jagannath in the temple. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the temple of Jagannath, Kashishwar, being very strong, cleared the crowds aside with his hands so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could pass untouched. Ramai and Nandai, the 20th and 21st among the important devotees in Jagannath Puri, always assisted Govinda 24 hours a day in rendering service to the Lord. Every day Ramai filled 22 big water pots, whereas Nandai personally assisted Govinda. The 22nd devotee, Krishnadas, was born of a pure and respectable Brahmin family. While touring southern India, Lord Chaitanya took Krishnadas with him. As a bona fide devotee, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, the 23rd principal associate, acted as the brahmachari of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu when he toured Mathura. Bada Haridas and Chota Haridas, the 24th and 25th devotees in Nilachala, were good singers who always accompanied Lord Chaitanya. Among the devotees who lived with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, Rambhadra Acharya was the 26th, Singhaswar the 27th, Tapan Acharya the 28th, Raghunath Bhattacharya the 29th, and Nilambar the 30th. Singhabhata was the 31st, Kamabhata the 32nd, Shivananda the 33rd, and Kamalananda the 34th. They all formerly served Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu in Bengal, but later these servants left Bengal to live with the Lord in Jagannath Puri. Achyutananda, the 35th devotee, was the son of Advaita Acharya. He also lived with Lord Chaitanya, taking shelter of his lotus feet at Jagannath Puri. Nirloma Gangadas and Vishnudas were the 36th and 37th among the devotees who lived at Jagannath Puri as servants of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. The prominent devotees at Varanasi were the physician Chandrasekhar, Tapan Mishra, and Raghunath Bhattacharya, Tapan Mishra's son. When Lord Chaitanya came to Varanasi after seeing Vrindavan, for 2 months he lived at the residence of Chandrasekhar Vaidya and accepted prasadam at the house of Tapan Mishra. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at the house of Tapan Mishra, Raghunath Bhatta, who was then a boy, washed his dishes and massaged his legs. When Raghunath grew to be a young man, he visited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri and stayed there for 8 months. Sometimes he offered prasadam to the Lord. Later, by the order of Lord Chaitanya, Raghunath went to Vrindavan and remained there under the shelter of Srila Rupa Goswami. While he stayed with Srila Rupa Goswami, his engagement was to recite Srimad Bhagavatam for him to hear. As a result of this Bhagavatam recitation, he attained perfectional love of Krishna, by which he remained always maddened. I list in this way only a portion of the innumerable devotees of Lord Chaitanya. To describe them all fully is not possible. From each branch of the tree have grown hundreds and thousands of sub-branches of disciples and grand-disciples. Every branch and sub-branch of the tree is full of innumerable fruits and flowers. They inundate the world with the waters of love of Krishna. Each and every branch of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees has unlimited spiritual power and glory. Even if one had thousands of mouths, it would be impossible to describe the limits of their activities. I have briefly described the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in different places. Even Lord Sesha, who has thousands of mouths, could not list them all. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Śrī Caitanya caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps.